Good day, everybody. Welcome to Endurance Room. My name's Jess, and tonight I'm going to be doing a solo overnighter at my family farm in northwest Pennsylvania. This is the warmest it's been all winter. Today it's about 40 degrees. It's going to cool off later tonight, but tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different with my palakas. I'm going to be using two of them for my shelter, but the third I'm going to be using as part of my sleep system as a bivvy sack. I got to experiment with the palakta as an outer garment earlier this week in conjunction with a wool greatcoat, and the combination was just phenomenal. So tonight I want to check it out as a bivvy sack. This is something the Russian soldiers used to do, and I've seen a couple other people on YouTube do it. Helsinki Pot being one, Survival Russia's done a bunch of stuff with these, but I'm going to give it a go tonight. I was blown away at the combination of the palakta with the wool overcoat. It trapped air so well. I'm going to get shelter set up. We'll get a little bit of wood gathered, and then if we have time, we'll take a hike and check out some spots around the farm. So this is a Polish shoulder bag. I grabbed this for like $5. I've got most of a 10-piece kit in here. This is a great little haversack because it's so light and collapsible that you can just scrunch it up and throw it into a pocket and then take it out if you need it. And I grabbed it for $5, and then I got all my stuff in it. I could put a 10-piece kit in here, no problem. I stopped in the local surplus store yesterday and I scored this sweet wool coat. It was made in Portland, I believe in the 50s. It didn't have any buttons on it, so I got it for 15 bucks. I threw some deer antler on it, and I was going to do that anyway. So this is the French F2 Rucksack. These are a sweet pack if you can find one. It's similar to the German mountain rucks that are available. It's rubberized canvas with one large interior pocket. You've got a quick access outer pocket. I've got dinner stashed in here. I've got some water and my wool liner for my jacket on this side, and then over here I've got some extra socks and a hat for later tonight. On the bottom I've got two of my ponchos, and then the third one is inside. But yeah, these are sweet packs, and if you load them right, they carry real nice. So originally on these packs, these two tie-down points, one was for the soldiers' radio battery. I believe it goes right here, and then this one was actually for their poncho, their lavoo. Running a block off of it. It's probably not right, but doing it anyway. So here's my shelter for the evening. It basically did a lean-to with one of the palakas, and then I used the second one as an end cap. I just turned it as a diamond and laid it in with a single 10 spike through the prusik loop at the top, and then it's sharing the same 10 spike at the bottom as well. So it works out pretty good. And I've just got the remainder of the tarp tucked in at the bottom, and it serves as part of a ground cloth. So I'll lay some bedding in along this way. I've got the wind coming in down off the hill like so. So that should give me some good protection. Then I can have my fire right here. Just real quick to show you guys, here at the seam where the two palakas meet, I just took some paracord and ran it through the buttonholes and stitched the two ponchos together. So I've got my browse bed set up with a 55-gallon trash bag full of leaves all stuffed up, and I just kind of spread it out. I kicked some more leaves up underneath and then laid my crabber space blanket down. Now I've got my third palaka, and I'm laying it at a diagonal. So one corner is pointed up to where my head is going to be. That gives you the most length across. And I've got it set so this side has got the poncho buttons. And I'm going to utilize that to secure the bivvy. So there you go, just like that. So there you have it. I'll crawl into the wool blanket up here, and when I'm all ready to go to bed, just pull that corner over, and it traps a lot of heat. So we're gonna see how it works tonight. It's cooling down right now. A big part of my sleeping equipment is actually my clothes. So, you know, I've got a wool jacket on. Got wool trousers. These are Swiss, I believe. I think these are like from the 50s, maybe earlier. And they're awesome. They're good and warm and really strong. So I've got a multi-layered system with my jacket. I've got my own undergarments, t-shirt, sweater. I've got a wool vest that lines the coat, and this is like a this is a jacket liner from a British field coat, but it collapses. It's really super lightweight. I can just cram it into my bag, and it fits underneath this wool coat. So I've got some layers on, and if that's not enough, I brought my wool anorak. Having a layered system like that, it gives you a lot of options. It's way better to have too much than not enough, and with a layered system like this, you can just take a layer off and maintain your comfort level. Weather's getting a little ugly. The trees are really blowing. So as I was coming in here tonight, I noticed all of these stones behind me here, and there's a huge pile. I wasn't sure if it was stones from the field from my family farming over the years and collecting them, or a leftover foundation from a old cabin or something. I'm not sure, but I utilized some of them to build this fire pit right next to my structure. So that should be great. I'll get a good bed of coals in there, and even if my fire goes out throughout the evening, I'll get radiant heat off that all night, so it should be awesome. Something's coming in. Hear it? The coyotes are already kicking up. They're howling down by the marsh, probably, you know, quarter a mile, half a mile down the way. They've gone quiet as the wind's picked up. Cool. So this is just some jute twine that I've dipped in wax and kind of dusted with black powder. I've gone ahead and pulled the fibers apart and I put that down in my bird's nest. There we go. The winds keep shifting from the south to the north, and each time it does that, the smoke's kind of been blowing in. Not kind of, the smoke has been blowing in. Wow. It actually feels like a mattress. Yeah, hopefully the R holds off. If I wasn't using the third Palakta for a bivvy, I would just put it up over this opening and I'd be good to go. Then I'd just have one opening down here by my feet. And that would be pretty awesome. I'd probably get a good bit of heat that way too, but I really want to try the bivvy out. I tried it in my house earlier this week and it was like night and day difference from just the wool blanket to the wool blanket in the Bivvy. It was a massive increase in heat retention. Time will tell. That's dinner tonight. Well, dinner's over, and here comes the rain. It's about 8 o'clock. The wind has been intermittent. It just keeps switching from south to north, and it's been a pain in the ass. I've had to adjust my shelter. I'd be fine if it was just coming from the south, because then I wouldn't have to deal with any rain blowing in from the north. I've got an open north face here, so if it switches, I could get dumped on with this open shelter. I could open my space blanket up and drape that over top to give me a little bit of extra water protection. That's probably what I'll do. You know, aside from the weather, like, this has been my best camp, hands down, yet in the last 5-6 weeks that I've been doing this. I definitely improved my my shelter building. The browse bed is above and beyond what it was. I actually feel like I'm laying on a bed tonight. That's crazy. Small success. It's pretty trippy being out here in this. Just the way the wind has shifted and blown. It's intense. It's probably just above freezing. It's like a sleet rain. These winter camping excursions have been pretty fun. This has been really interesting. Each time out has been a learning experience. There's been different problems, whether it was the cold or wet wood. It's a good thing I've got the space blanket. Water's starting to come in sideways as the wind shifts. Should be good. I'll let you know. I wonder what the temperature is. It's pretty cold. It's just above freezing. I'd honestly prefer snow. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get some sleep. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's about 7:30. The modified Plash Palakta lean-tos held up pretty well. It rained all night, literally from like, I'd say 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on. There's a little break around, 4 to 6, but it's been basically raining the rest of the time. The wind was intense. You just go through these periods of like these really intense swells as it was shifting from the north and the south, but then it would like die down, and then it was just like this, it was almost like the ocean. It was just like this soft pulse. It's pretty cool. It was pretty trippy actually to be out here in it. So the bivvy was good. Like getting in and out of it was a pain in the butt. And I think that was largely with how I had my blanket laid in, with the seam on the opposite side. But once I was inside of it and everything was secure, like it was really nice. It was really warm. It got down to like the mid 30s, and right now it's come back up. It's about 40 degrees, so it's pretty good. And for sleeping in just a wool blanket with the bivvy, it's all right. I used the space blanket as well. I had to talk myself into it just to keep the water off the bivvy, because the wind was really just not compliant. Yeah, it could have been better. I see what I could have done to improve it, but for what it was and how it was used, like, I'm pretty impressed. Looking back on the last 6 weeks of winter camping, this was by far the easiest it's been, and it's just been some of the lousiest weather. It's just been a little bit warmer. So here you can see how I've lowered the ridge line on this end to give it more of a downward angle, and then this palakta was kind of coming out at an angle. They gave me more room underneath initially, but because of the wind, I folded it around and gave me a partial barrier right up here by my head that helped keep me dry. The only problem was it shortened the structure pretty significantly, so I wasn't able to stretch out as I had planned. But it was better than getting wet. So to keep myself from getting soaked as the wind changed, I took the space blanket and tocketed it over top of the palakta and the wool blanket. And considering the conditions and what I was working with, it did work pretty well. I propped a couple sticks up underneath the palakta at the back end here to give me some height. That helped out quite a bit. I ended up putting my anorak on and using that for my sleeping gear. I folded my wool jacket up and used that for a pillow. Along with the jacket liner, I used that as part of the bedding. So aside from having to curl up into a ball, it was definitely the most comfortable sleeping I've had in the last 6 weeks. So definite plus, definitely a step in the right direction. Man. Well, I'm gonna break camp while I have a minute. I think the rain is coming back. It's supposed to be intermittent all morning, but I've got a second, so I'm gonna get out while I can. The fire pit was awesome. It was really cool. It would have burned much longer if the rain had held off a little bit, but even with the rain, like, there was a good bed of coals for quite a while. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you got any questions about anything I did today with the palaktas or my gear, I used the French F2 rucksack to carry it out in today, and another one in the books. So thanks a lot. You guys take care. I'll see you in the woods. Cheers.